Welcome to the IVM Podcast Network. Hi, this is Amit Doshi, and I wanted to thank each and every one of our listeners. It's been 2 years since I founded IVM, and it's been an amazing 2 years. We wanted to learn a little bit more about who is listening to our shows, and so we put together a short survey. The survey is anonymous, and we aren't going to be collecting any personal information. I would really appreciate it if you could take a couple of minutes out of your day and go to ivmpodcast.com/survey and fill it out. Thanks, and please keep listening.
You're listening to TFG Football.
Hello everyone, here we are. It's a new day, a new show of the TFG Indian Football Podcast, and now we were thinking about what to talk. What shall we talk about? When we really have difficult when there's no league happening, when there's no I-League, there's no everyday thing to talk about. But don't worry, we're a daily show for a reason. So we get you all the stuff, even though there's nothing to talk. We shall look for new stuff and get all the discussion that you need to know about what's happening in Indian football. Now, the first news that broke out yesterday, we shall talk about is Palestine friendly. India is going to play against Palestine. Now, just a heads up, if you remember, when Chiranjit spoke to the head coach, Stephen Constantine, he did say that he's looking forward to playing a lot of friendlies before every game. So this is one of them. And it's a good thing, but as of now, the venue has not decided. It's likely to be away, but I would like it to be, at home. It would be great to see a match. And as usual, joining me in the studio is Kevin. Chiranjit is joining us via phone call. So Chiranjit, why don't you begin? Yeah. How does this look?
Well, we are supposed to have a friendly match ahead of every Asian Cup Qualifiers. So
yes.
This is coming in ahead of the October fixture. So I think it makes sense that they want to go and play Lebanon and Palestine away from home, because let's face it, all of these are preparation for Kyrgyzstan.
Right.
Right. You don't have to prepare that much for Macau when you are playing an international friendly against Cambodia and followed by Myanmar.
Yeah.
That's preparation enough for a team that plays with a style that Macau does. But you have to prepare as much as possible for Kyrgyzstan, only team that's above us. And if we are to ensure that we, get a slightly favorable draw in the finals, actually, we have to make sure we top the group. And this is what it is all about, topping the group. And so there's one person we really have to thank here in terms of making all these matches happen. It's the person we really picked on a few episodes ago for completely ruining I-League and calling it a failure. Kushal Das,
yeah.
AIFF General Secretary, who's been going around doing an amazing work getting all these matches set up for Indian national team. And if there's several media reports that believe there's yet another friendly that's going to happen. That's going to be against Afghanistan at home.
Okay.
In August.
Wow, so that looks interesting.
Yeah, that will be interesting. It will be, it has a storyline to it. It will be like a rematch of the South Championship final. Yes. But again, it's another setup for the Kyrgyz match. Right. So they are leaving no stone unturned, AIFF, in making sure that we are, the most prepared possible when it comes to facing Kyrgyzstan. And this is like beyond anything I would have hoped for, I would have asked for, the kind of preparation that they're getting. And with ISL out of the way, ISL private tournament without an international break out of the way, it's finally good to see that they are getting this chance to prepare for this. And Palestine, you cannot take them lightly at all, because though their ranking is slightly below us, that's probably mainly because they haven't played many matches over the last few years. And when they play, they do good. They got draws against Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. So that is massive result. They beat Malaysia 6-0 twice. So you have to respect them as opponents, and you have to give your all in order to win. And it doesn't even, it's actually going to be tougher than some of the Asian Cup qualifier fixtures out there.
Okay.
We may even beat Myanmar, but Palestine away, it's very hard to win. But either way, it's going to be a great learning experience and a great precursor for that Kyrgyzstan game.
Yeah. Kevin, your thoughts on this, Friendlies?
No, I think it's much required, and the very important thing over here, as Chiranjit mentioned, it's happening right before you are playing a game. Nothing beats that. You know your team fitness, your team strengths, and a good opponent. It's not like a team that anybody can beat. That really helps to serve the purpose of preparing yourself well for the match, your actual qualifier. And it's a good plan laid out by Constantine and the AFF. We really have to commend their efforts over here, and we hope this really helps the Indian team in the long run.
Yeah. Well, the match is tomorrow, one of the friendly that they're going to play before they take on Myanmar, India versus Cambodia. Now, we shall talk about it. Yeah. We shall talk about it tomorrow. But just to touch upon a few things, Chiranjit, any updates, any current updates about this?
Yeah, apparently the stadium is sold out.
Oh, okay, great, amazing.
And it's a 63,000 capacity stadium.
Wow.
Okay. This is like the main stadium they have in the country where they play their matches. And fans are crazy over there. So I don't know. This is also another thing that we're going to face. We will see Indian national team go out there and play in a very hostile, intense atmosphere away from home, which is not something they get to experience often. So this is probably the biggest away audience they are going to face in years. Yeah.
That's going to be very intimidating. I think we shall talk about it tomorrow in detail, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, and moving on, we have some news from the I-League coming in. Chennai City, we've been talking about them about their on-field actions, off-field actions, very much, in the recent past, even before the season began and when it was going on. They had a lot of issues with the stadium. Now the news is that they are building a new stadium. Now, this comes with its own, the issues like permissions, consequences. Is it good? How long is it going to take? And where do you place it and all of that? The surrounding matters. So, Chiranjit, is it in the same area or is it somewhere further down?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not. It's towards the outskirts near the airport.
Okay.
So, it's not going to be, it's impossible for Chennai City to just build a new stadium in a prime location that way.
Right.
So it's granted at this point that the core public of Chennai will go to Chennai FC because that's more accessible to them, and that's going to be the top division club. But Chennai City are playing the long game here.
Yeah.
They are trying to what they have said. I first heard of this when I was in Chennai covering a match. And I was like, yeah, if they're going to build a stadium, it's probably going to take a while because for comparison, we have the DSK's stadium project, which we have been hearing for a while now, and it's going to take 2-3 more years before that stadium comes up. But I think like they are moving quite fast, faster than I expected. Apparently, they got chunks of land already selected, and some investors are already on board. So. Things are going to move ahead quickly, and I think it can be done if they go for like a 5,000 capacity stadium. Just like a Cooperage type.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if they will go for natural turf or AstroTurf. Does not matter at this point. They just need to get something going in order to just play in League One, and that's not that expensive. The land is the one that they will have to really spend on. League One, you can like play in a semi-recent stadium. It will be good enough for you, especially because you don't have any chance of just coming up and playing top division anytime soon. So, I think they're preparing for it. They got the right, mindset for it, and this is where it's going to be. It's going to, Chennai City. They have played a very clever game in picking a very separate identity for themselves. They will not be the metropolitan club like Chennai FC. They will be from the suburbs. They will be attracting a crowd that is less wealthy than Chennai FC. They will have that, small working class struggle story to themselves. They will not just come in with a lot of money and just throw it around and simply sit at the top of the pyramid. So we're going to see a growth story here, and I'm really optimistic because Chennai City FC was one of the clubs I was worried about, going forward in this merger scenario. But it seems like, yeah, they got it right.
Yeah, the things are already working in their favor to gather the fans, because we've seen in a couple of games, we saw pictures of fans gathering around.
But see,
team.
that's the problem. Whatever they have done in the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, but that's not going to matter next season. Because if they should be serious enough, if they are going for a very small stadium, it's doable that they can just get it up and running by next season. If they do that, then they are moving on to a very new location, so they will have to start from scratch again. But that should not be that big of a deal for them, because you're gonna if they are building a stadium, they got a 15-year plan chalked out, so they're sorted. Like DSK.
Yeah.
And another part of the reason, part of the thing that I liked was that when they were coming up with the construction plans, they were already thinking about the accommodation of the players. When we talked to Rohit Ramesh, the owner, he was already talking about we're gonna have academies all over Tamil Nadu state. We want players of all levels to come over to Chennai City FC and represent the club at various levels in competitions. So they already got that sorted, because they got accommodation plans for players and staff and coaches all planned along with the stadium, like DSK Shivajians. Right. So this sets them up way better in terms of a proper club license and functioning and long-term savings than most of the ISL teams we have around here. Because this is also another main expense that ISL teams will have to bear going forward in a bigger season. So far, they just keep their players in hotels. That works for 2-3 months, but that does not work for a full season.
Yeah.
All I-League clubs, most of them I think provide with accommodation. They rent flats or buy flats. Like East Bengal and Mohun Bagan have designated player flats that they had bought a long time ago. So, these are also part of the infrastructure that you have to look out for.
Right.
Yeah, and if they are getting all that into place, then you can think of a sustainable model, and maybe they can make the building much taller than they just need for players and stuff. Maybe they can just rent out some flats in the same premises. So that creates an extra revenue opportunity for the club as well.
Yeah.
So they can they don't just have to depend on ticket sales and sponsorship. They can also earn from the flats. So these are different revenue models that new clubs have toyed with. DSK are doing it right, and it seems like Chennai City are also following in the same direction, and hopefully it will work out for them.
It's a positive news, right, Kevin? For teams, newer teams like this, they're taking things seriously.
Yeah.
It's not with the attitude they come, वैसे भी next year we're not going to play in the top division, so how does it matter? Just play wherever you can or wherever you are. But these teams look serious. They're taking things. Yeah.
One of the things you need to notice, like the lower division is going to be stacked. So many great clubs are there. Like Chennai City has long-term plan. DSK, Hyderabad is coming up. They have a big long-term plan. I think they got a 30-year plan or something to grow and survive. They got they will have all these Northeast clubs also coming into place.
Yeah.
Kashmir clubs, that club from Manipur, Neroka. This is awesome. Maybe I'm even though I'm a Mohun Bagan fan and I love East Bengal, Mohun Bagan and all these big contests, but maybe League One will be the most interesting league.
Yeah. It has already
season.
got all the ingredients right. So it's going to be the food, the end product is going to be much more better.
That's where the future of Indian football will be made in League One.
Yeah, absolutely. Because of all these smaller teams that have more, have maximum outcome from what there is from their smaller results, like fans coming out, they taking things seriously. So it's going to be a crazy ride going ahead. Now coming back to the national team, this is about the under-17 update. Now they are planning to play a friendly match with Minerva Punjab after Mali got suspended. So Chiranjit, I want to ask you, is this gonna help playing against a team from India, from a club? And yes, I know it's Minerva Punjab. They must be playing the champion team that won.
Yeah.
But still, is it going to help?
You see, unfortunate thing that happened was that this is one bad matchup made by the AIFF. Mali was already in trouble for government interference in their association, and they were everybody knew that it might happen. So yeah, they set up that match. I don't know why. But they did it. That's because maybe they could not get the bigger opponents at that stage. But either way, when you need to give the boys some training, you need to give the boys some matches. You have a new coach in who needs to test his players. So this was the best they could do in India, right? They needed to see all these boys, and it's a good team. Minerva Punjab is a very good team at that level. They're the champion team. They beat that Ozone FCK team, which was filled with overage players allegedly. We don't know how that went down, but we saw them dominate.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a good thing that this is happening. I'm pretty sure Ranjit Bajaj is jumping up and down at the opportunity to show he's got what kind of talent in his junior team. So either way, even if it's a tight game, we may even expose some flaws in the existing team. And if it's big margin wins for the India under-17 team, we know okay, the preparations are in the right direction. And they will get some confidence after back-to-back losses.
I think the Mali game is not cancelled. It's deferred at the moment. And we might expect some news if the internal problem has been resolved, because as of now, FIFA has sent out letters to all the nations saying to not have matches in Mali or against those teams. But it's not that they will be banned. It's a temporary thing put on them. Yeah, so if the matters resolve before the Under-17 World Cup, we might just expect a game.
Maybe. But then again, there are times when you play a certain kind of opponent, right? So if it's 3 months or 4 months before the Under-17 World Cup tournament, a team like Mali makes sense. But going into the tournament, 2 months or 1 month ago, you don't want to play a team like Mali. You want to play a team like Sweden, or you want to play Brazil, you want to play England. It doesn't matter whether you win or lose, it's all about preparation. So you have to crank it up slowly in terms of the levels of difficulty that they face. So I don't think they should do it later. I mean, the official announcement says it has been postponed, but don't do it if it takes too long. If it gets solved in the next 2 weeks, good. You can do it again, but just don't do it 2 months before the Under-17 World Cup starts. It's not worth it.
I think with the advantage of having a European coach might be beneficial to India in some way. We might see them playing one of the lower division youth setup in the Europe. That can be a possibility to this replacement of an international friendly.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, all positive signs here. I think from this match, particularly the Under-17 taken over Minerva, I think it's a jackpot from Minerva.
Yeah, it is.
As in, just like Ranjit mentioned, Ranjit Bajaj, Mr. Bajaj must be jumping on his, happy feet kind of a thing. But the boys from Minerva Punjab, you never know. Tomorrow they can be picked. Tomorrow they can represent the national team. So it's a good way for them to expose, and also a good training bit for the Under-17. But we hope that we play bigger teams before, in terms of preparation wise, before we kickstart our World Cup campaign. Well, that's all, folks, for today's show. Short and sweet, with bits and tips from here, everywhere across Indian football that you want to know. I hope you enjoyed the show just like as we did. Now, if you're listening to our show...
Tomorrow, guys, tomorrow the match will probably not be on TV. I mean, definitely not be on TV, but...
I mean, AFC is not shown. You can't expect them to show a friendly game. So, either way, you gotta
check out at the rate TFG Football, because whatever stream we find, we will share.
Yeah, and we shall also talk about extensively about the match tomorrow. So watch out for the podcast as well. Now, if you're listening to our show on YouTube, hit the like, share, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon so you get updates of our new episode. You can also listen to our show on Audioboom, SoundCloud, iTunes, and various other podcasting apps. Download the IVM podcast app on Android and iOS. You can also talk to us directly on Twitter. Kevin is on Twitter as Boza_Kevin. Chiranjit Oja. I'm on Twitter as Matthew94. Nikhil, who is not here right now, you can also catch him on Twitter as 42Nikhil. Have a great day. Enjoy and come back tomorrow for the match. We shall have talk about the match. And as Chiranjit said, all details about Indian football, follow TFG Football on Twitter. Have a great day. Cheers.
Hey man, just help me out, man. I need some podcasts, man. I haven't had a fix in a week. Just need some.
Don't you worry about it. I got podcasts galore for you, man. Just go to ivmpodcast.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna check it out.